Okay, so in this video, what we're going to do is to set up a link tree. So what I have here is my link tree that I set up. And as you can see, I have it in the mobile view. And so in the mobile view, this is what it looks like. And remember, yes, you can adjust things so they aren't so big. You can adjust things the way you want them. But remember, I am not the creative one. So this is doing super dope for me. All right. Also, we can take this and look at the desktop view. So if we click on desktop, it'll toggle it to what the desktop view looks like. Now, I made the width smaller because for me, it just looked weird to have the full view. I don't know. For some reason, it was weird. So if we look at what a real link tree looks like from the software Linktree, link.tree, link, wait a minute, linktr.ee. It's not even link.tree. Okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right. So what you see is the circle, you see the name, and then you see the links right here, right? And so if we look at the back of it, this is what it looks like in the back end, and then it's super easy to just make another link. You could just click right here and say add new link. Um, and then, of course, they have their appearance settings and analytics now is new. So it tells you how many views you got versus how many clicks you got. All right. So, but my thing is, why use Linktree when I can have everything in one software, right? So, back to our platform, the Enum platform. So, this is my Linktree, and I can come in and change these buttons. I can add buttons. I can do anything I want to do with this because I have creative rights, right? So, let me show you how to do it. So, when you're in the platform, what you want to do is navigate to sites. And when you navigate to sites, you're going to go to websites. And as you see, this is my link tree that I was currently just in. So the way that we do that is we're going to click on new website. And when you click on new website, you're going to add your name. I'm going to just name it myself. Um, That's a lot, but as you see, my other one just said link tree. And think about it, you can have different link trees for different sites, right? And so even though it may not be recommended, but for whatever reason, if you have different social media sites, you could just create different link tree pages for each of those sites. So let's see how we did this. So we are going to click on add new page. When we add new page, we're just going to name the page and then we're going to create a path. So the path is going to be what's the name after your main domain, right? So mine is the Premier VA / links. So you can name this whatever. So I'm going to click on create new page. All right. So now it just says main page, right? So now, I mean, main link. So what we're going to do is click on the edit option so it opens up our editor. So once it opens up our website builder, what we're going to do is we're going to add a section. So we're going to add a full length section to our editor. So just click on add section, and then when you click on add section, it's going to open up the settings on the right-hand side. We're going to just use this full length, full width, and we're going to drop that into our page. And now it's adding a now it wants us to add a row. So we're going to click on the add row button and we're going to add a column. So we really only want this one column unless you're going to be fancy, but I'm going to show you with the one column. So when we add that column, no, we want to bring this width down from 100 to like about 35. And you don't have to do it to 35. This is just what I know to do for this. Okay, so what we're going to put in this first column is our image, right? And remember to continue to click on save. So we're going to save that. So now we have our our option, right? But we want to do a background. So in mine, you saw I had a background. So if we go up here and highlight, you see the different highlights. And if you're ever wondering what part of the building you're on, you can see in the corner. This says section, this one says row. So I want the section because I want to add a background to the entire page. So I'm going to click in the section. When I click in this section, it's going to open up the section settings to the left. So this is what I want because I want to add a background. Now you can make it one color, you can make it fancy. You can see this where it says if you didn't find your color, you can add a custom color here. So if you wanted to be fancy and add different colors, you can. What I am going to do is to go down here and show you where I got that background image from. So if you click on where it says BG image and you click on the picture of the image, it'll open up your media library. So when I opened up the media library, see how it says search at the very top and it says my media? You also have the option to search just backgrounds, right? There's predefined backgrounds in here. So if you like any of these backgrounds, you can pick any of these backgrounds if you want. You can come back up here. You can go to Unsplash and you can search, I don't know, purple. Well, let's just say purple. Oh, y'all know I like this, but I can't use that. So if we say purple or whatever we're searching for, right? You can search Unsplash and you can use these in your items as you would like. Okay. You know, I'm the fan of digital stuff and I like stuff like that. So you can pick any of these backgrounds. I don't want to get anybody a stroke here, so I'm just pick the simple one. And then you just double click it, and now it becomes your background. So I just double click that, and now it's my background. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit save. So now I have a background. Now, what I want to do is I want to add an image. Okay, and so with the image, let's go down here. 1 second though. What we want to do? We don't want to make this. We want to make this full center. Well, we could leave it on parallax, but parallax is not going to work in on the what you call that, mobile devices. So we'll just leave it there. So now I'm gonna click add elements. So all I did was move my cursor over here. So now it's telling me to add an element. So what I want to do is add a picture. So I'm going to click on image, right? And so now it put the image element in there, and all I need to do is to select the image from my library. So I'm going to click on the image to make sure. And now I'm gonna go to the left-hand side of my image settings because when I click on it, I want to make sure my image settings pop up. So now I'm going to click on the image icon to open up the image library. So what I should have did was select a picture. But what I'm going to do is go to my media and I'm gonna go to Pixabay and I'm gonna say woman. Um, okay, let's choose her. Okay, so this is my image, right? I wish my hair could look like that. So this is my image, but in the link tree is circular. So say that you wanted to make this circular, right? So what you would do is make sure the image settings are still selected. You would click on advanced and see where it says image radius. If we click on that, we're going to turn that to circle. Now you have a circle, right? And you see the different options. You can even make it just the rounded corners if that's what you want. But let's just stick with our circle. So now we have a circle. So now what we want to do is we want to go back over here to general because maybe we don't want our picture that big, right? Maybe we want it a little smaller. So we're going to click on width and I'm going to just type 150. Now, that's what 150 looks like. If you want it bigger or smaller, you can just use the up and down arrows to make it a little bigger, right? So this is what it currently looks like now. So this is what my image looks like. It's good. I'm gonna leave it. I'm going to click on save. Now, say I wanted to add text right up under here, right? Because that's what Linktree looks like. So I'm gonna click on the plus under the image, and then I'm gonna click on headline. Now you can use sub headline. This is totally up to you. I'm gonna just put my name right here. Okay. And then if I wanted to put something under there, I could put add the Premiere VA. Boom. That's what I got. Then on mine, I did add my um little blip about what I do. So all I did was click in sub headline and then I added that little blip. I consult with business, spell it right, owners to implement systems in their businesses. All right, I'm gonna just leave it short for the sake of the video. Okay, so now I have this. I'm gonna click on save. Now, one thing about this though is I don't like how close that is to there. So I am going to click in here and you could do one or two things. You could click at the top and just hit space, excuse me, or you can add padding to the top. I just hit space. That was good enough, right? So now I'm gonna click on save. All right, so now we need to add some buttons, right? So what I'm gonna do now is click back on my plus and I'm gonna click on button. Now, as you see, this is a website builder, right? So we can add whatever we want in here. Okay. So we can be super creative. What if you were running a campaign where you only wanted people to schedule a call with you? You can add your calendar scheduler right dead in here. Okay. If that's what I wanted to do. But we're doing buttons. So let's slide the button over. Okay. Oops. Okay. So let's add the button. Now, again, it's way too close. All right, so what I'm gonna do is click in the button and it's gonna open up the button settings for me, right? And so what I'm gonna do is go down here to where it says margin top and I'm gonna slide this over and it's gonna move my button. Okay. Now, this is where you have creative option to do whatever the heck you want to do, right? So if you click on the button, you have the option to add your text in here. So the text is right here. Um, I swear I can't spell when I be doing these. Okay. So if I wanted to add the system's playbook right there and add some subtext, I can add subtext. I can add as much subtext as I want to this. Then I want to put my link in there. So now this is saying, do you want it to open up a pop-up? That's kind of really on you if you wanted to open up a pop-up or not. Again, you have creative reign here. So, but what we're going to do is we're just going to add a redirect link. So what I really wanted to do is to go to a URL, right? Or if I had my page in here, I could have it go to a page, but that's not what I have. So we're going to add website URL. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to paste that in there. And I always wanted to open in a new tab. So I'm gonna click that. So now when they click on this, it's going to go to the new tab. But those of you who know me know that green is not my color. And I like cute stuff. So Imma click on themes because we have some, like, button themes here, right? So you can pick any type of button you want. If you want it to look raised like that, you can pick raised. You can pick any of these. So let's just say I wanted that one. It's now gonna add that raised look to my button, right? And then if we go over here, so say I wanted my button to have an effect, which I did. I added glow, but you see sometimes like you can have it bounce like that, bounce, 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 fool. If you bout it, okay, then you can have it elevate when somebody hovers over it. So you can play with these effects and see what you want. This is wobble wobble. Wobble wobble. Okay. So now you also can do what you want with these buttons. All right. So if you want to make your text all uppercase, you can do that, all lowercase. You can do that as well. The button shadow comes with this theme. So it's a shadow around that button. And then the other thing that you want to do is if you want it to be circular, right? That's here. So if you wanted this button to be circular, you would change the button radius. Okay. So if I change it to 25, it gets the rounded edges, right? And you can make it only the top edges, or you can make it only the bottom edges, or you can make it all edges. So you can pretty much do that. You can change the border color here if that's what you want to do. Okay. So now let me go back over here to general because y'all know that's not my color. So what we want to do is change the background color. So I'm gonna click in here and oh, I thought it was in there. Okay, I'm gonna add my color because I know it by heart. Damn it. Okay, so that's my button color, but ew, look at that. That ain't cute, right? So I'm gonna scroll down here. This is the subtext color, and this is the color of the main text. So if I click in here and change that to white, I can change that to white. If I wanted to change the subtext color to yellow, I can do that, or whatever color I want to change it to, I can do that as well. Then all you would do to continue to do this is to repeat. You just want to click, well, actually clone this one. You don't have to do that all over. You already got this, you got it the way you want it. So just click on clone. It's going to clone your button and go in here and change stuff, right? So now maybe I want them to listen to the podcast and see it's going to change as you change it, right? Right. So it's going to change as you change it. Now for me, I would just leave that alone, right? But I know most people want to change the width it is and they don't want it like that. So you would definitely go in here and change the width in the advanced tab and you can do what you want to do, right? So that's kind of how you do that. And you can play with all of the different settings in here and I'm gonna click on save. Now, I know you're wondering, like, well, wait a minute. I saw you had a icon and you had all this other stuff in yours. So again, I clicked on here and I chose the different images over here the way I wanted it. Because think about it, we can build this as a funnel if we wanted to. So if we wanted to have that, then we would just add it in there, right? So if I wanted to put a picture here and then have my little headline right there, I could, or I could take this out and put a button there, or I can just add another section, not another section. I want to add another column, right? Oh, it won't let me. Okay, you got to add a section. So I would just add another section, right? And then I would add full width to the section, and then add a row. And this time you can choose, like if I wanted two columns, I would just choose the two columns. But remember, I made my stuff smaller. So you would change the width of the columns, and then in here you could put whatever element, and in here you could put whatever element. right? And that's kind of how I did that with the when I changed it and made it uh different, right? And you can kind of do that here. So say you want to do here, and you can add 2 columns here, and then you can change it, make sure you change the width, and then you can put an element here and an element there. Now this is how I added my footer to the bottom of my page. I just added a row and put a footer there for my page. Now let me just show you. Okay, this is what my page will look like on the desktop, and this is what my page will look like on mobile, right? And so on mobile, say we have some stuff in here we didn't want to show. Well, you would just click on that and go to advanced and see where it has visibility and it has desktop and mobile. We would just turn mobile off and it gets rid of it. So anything that you're showing on mobile that shouldn't be showing, just turn it off and then make sure you hit save. And the same thing for desktop. So like say I didn't want to show any of this stuff. I would just turn mobile off, this included, and I would just turn mobile off. And now this is what it looks like, right? So now this is what mobile looks like. Now we're done with that. So how do we add our domain to this, right? Good question. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back out to your main website page and you're going to click on settings. And when you click on settings, it's going to say domain. You're going to select the domain for that site. If your domain is not here, please go look at the domain video on how to add a domain and add your domain there. And then also one thing that you can enable a chat widget if you wanted to for your Linktree by just turning this on. And if you had any tracking code like pixels or any of those things, that's where you would put these, and you will also put your favicon icon here, right? So now instead of it showing, like you see how Linktree has this link and every time you go there it shows that link, have somebody create a favicon for you so that you can put your favicon there, and now your page's favicon is going to show up. So it won't be the icon or it won't be this world. It'll have your page, right? And then you can change this path, because this path is going to be what's here. Like mine is PVA the premierva.com. So if I select that, this would be the whole path for the website. So you can change this to what you want it to be, and then make sure you hit save, and it'll save that as the path. And then let me just do it and show you guys. So that's okay. And then when we hit, no, 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 Jennifer, wrong one. Sorry. Okay, so now let's look at it. I'll be click happy sometimes. Okay, so we want to hit this one to preview. So now when we go preview our page, this is what it looks like. This is what our page looks like. And then you can adjust this as you need to. So this is what it looks like on website. So if I didn't like this, I would go back and fix it in my builder and make it different. Okay. All righty. So that is it.